Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttattooandpiercing@gmail.com, and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing. Hey metalheads, after going to a rager, what's your ultimate go-to? Mine is totally pizza. So when Overload is playing, or I'm promoting the Metal Forge live showcases, or the big goddamn metal show, I go to Pizza DoNisi. Pizza DoNisi is gourmet artisan pizza from right here in Louisville, Kentucky. It features things like the pizza of the month, the sandwiches, and also vegetarian and vegan options, which is so totally fucking cool for all of it's awesome pizza. You definitely want to go. Hey, and also from time to time they do cannolis. Oh, so fucking good. You know what they said, man? Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Yeah, just like that in Godfather. They're located right next to the Mag Bar at 1396 South 2nd Street. So either stop in or call in at 502-213-0488. They're open till midnight. The witching hour.
Heineken? Fuck that shit! Pabst Blue Ribbon!
Hey metalheads, you all hear me talk about Mag Bar all the time. It is the home to the Metal Forge live showcases and is an integral stop in the Ultimate Underground Metal Tour schedule. They obviously feature live music, but the Mag Bar also has daily specials like Pint and Slice Night on Tuesdays with Pizza DoNisi. But they also do Bring Your Own Vinyl on Thursdays with DJ Kent Jackson, and Finer Things Sundays. Located right next to Pizza DoNisi at 1398 South 2nd Street, open 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. 7 days a week. Get your asses out to the Mag Bar. Rock out. For 45 years in keeping Louisville weird, Electric Ladyland has been there for all your eccentricities. While they do offer the best smoking supplies out on the market today, there's a whole lot more to check out. From ashtrays and blacklight posters, to records, incense and burners, and items to stock your metaphysical supply. They are open from 10 to 10, 7 days a week. Located at 2325 Bardstown Road in Louisville, Kentucky, and at electricladyland420.com. Roll out.
In a broken wasteland, come to my fire and place your blood and steel upon my pyre. Oh, this is the Metal Forge. 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 With crimson coals,
What's going on, metalheads? Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of the Metal Forge. I am Mark Jackson, and I am your host. Happy New Year to everyone out there, because this is the first episode of 2024, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to say that again later. I'm just getting this weird feeling of deja vu. And speaking of guests on the Metal Forge, it's not you, don't say nothing yet. We have Geoff, and I'm gonna completely butcher his name because I totally did earlier. Saavedra from the band Titanosaur from Hudson, New York. And if you're not familiar with Titanosaur, it is a one-man gig, and they've been out since 2018, and since then have had 7 full-length albums and quite a few other singles. I might actually have messed that up. I think it's only 6. But anyway, today we also have, it's the first Metal Forge of the month, supposed to be the show deal, Mr. Jason Gardner, but I think he's here to talk about some other things, because this is actually going to be a heavy metal wasteland.
Yeah, first show of the year, isn't it?
It is, and it's the first show of the month.
Yeah, well, I mean...
And it is the 5th year anniversary show.
Well, there you go.
And by the time we are recording this, and I said this in the interview that I cut it out, is by the time we were recording this is officially 5 years, because it was on the 3rd of January, not the 5th. So that was the official first by my trademark thing. It is 1/3/19 of the Metal Forge. Yeah,
1/3/19, man. Like everything before COVID just seems like prehistoric times.
It really does. It really does. And I saw a meme over Christmas, and it was wild. It was the fucking it was Danny Zuko and Sandy driving. It said leaving 2019, and it said entering 2024, and it was fucking Vincent Vega from Pulp Fiction and Mia Wallace, where she's all fucking after the incident in the car, or with the fucking OD and everything. And I was just like, nah, man, fucking, it totally does seem like that, which is so wild that even though it was just 5 years ago, it seems like it was fucking another world.
Yeah, it does. I mean, like I said, my daughter was, let's see, this time 5 years ago, my daughter was about a month away. So she was born into a pre-COVID world. It didn't went through COVID, but she was still small that she didn't even know COVID happened. So she had no memory of it, even though I could tell her about it. But yeah, I mean, it's weird thinking about it, but I think it seems like the effects are still kind of reverberating just a little bit still, to me. I don't know, it's just everyone's still politicizing it, this and that. It's dude, it's over. Can we just move on? But they just like to remind you that we can shut it down again at any time. Get in line, peasants. So yeah, it always just seems like they just hold it over you,
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree on that. And, and I think that's going to be one of the things that I'm going to go into. This is into this next year, is a little bit of format change with possible interview ideas, and more than that even, just going into the Metal Forge as a whole, no holds barred, fucking talk about what you talk about. If the subject is fucking hard to talk about, fucking bring it up. Why the fuck not?
The Hogan movie, right?
Fuck you. Okay, speaking of which, you brought it up. So, I have this big fucking, I hate that fucking movie.
Yeah, I know.
I absolutely hate that fucking film. Dookie.
I haven't watched it since I rented it with my dad a long time ago. Whenever what was that, 90? Maybe 89 or something
89,
like that?
I think, is when it came
Yeah,
out.
so I've only seen
It
it
was-
one time when I was little, so I don't even remember.
It was
really.
filmed during the time that Hogan was gone between WrestleMania 4 and 5. Because that was the time when Randy Savage won the championship and Hulk Hogan went away to film the movie, brother. But no, like, it's just so horribly done.
Like I said, I couldn't remember it.
I mean, and it is actually, it's like it's the first, like, WWE Studios film.
Oh, was it W Studio film?
Yes.
didn't know
And I made sure to buy it on DVD when it was released back like 10 years ago, just for that reason. And I watched it the one time again, and it's like, man, this is so fucking terrible. There's so many better wrestling films out there than that.
If you had to pick one to watch the rest of your life, I'm just talking one movie, you had a DVD player or VHS, and you had to pick one.
One
Would it be-
movie or one wrestling film?
No, movie, period.
Oh my god.
Would
dude,
it,
I
no,
couldn't-
listen, between these two, would it be No Holds Barred or Over the Top?
Over the top.
Over the Top?
Oh,
Because
God,
this is
yeah.
kind of wrestling, too.
Yeah, but it's arm wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah, no, over
I'm
the
gonna-
top
I'm gonna
because
put-
at
I'm
least
gonna
like
switch
yeah,
here.
you gotta do the hat spin.
Yeah, I gotta flip the switch here, and we should get back into talking about Metal Forge material.
Yeah, no, this is still total Metal Forge material because it's Alehorn, it's Mud Forge, it's Metalhorn, it's Metal Forge. It's all the same shit,
Salt and Forgery.
Ossont. No, it is definitely not that.
Oh, okay.
It is definitely not Ossont Forgery. No. Wait a minute. Yeah, Metal and Battery.
Yeah.
It drives your car. No. So anyway, no. Titanosaur is pretty fucking cool, and Aaron had their latest album in his top 5 of the year. So I am honored to actually have them here in the Metal Forge starting 2024. Dude, what are you looking forward to in 2024? Like Jason Gardner, what are you looking forward to?
Well, we talked about it a little bit on the year best of Metal Forge, the last one of the year, but getting into a little more detail. So there's supposed to be a new Grand Megas album coming out. Obviously, the Judas Priest one's been confirmed for March 8th, I think. I would say the Blind Guardian Night Demon tour is coming near me, so I'll fall into that. Amon Amarth and Cannibal Corpse and Obituary are playing in Asheville, so I'm pretty excited about that because it's actually a arena show, which is a kind of a small arena, but nonetheless, there should be a lot of fire and shenanigans, so that's pretty exciting. Also, I like their last album a lot, so I'm glad that tour's coming if I can see it.
Definitely.
Let's see what else. Just be surprised by some new albums that aren't really on the radar. It's always fun.
I have high hopes for the Priest album, actually. The
like I
singles
said,
that they've
the
put
second
out.
single and video I really didn't like that much, or more of the song than the video, obviously. But, I heard a snippet of another one they put out, and it sounded pretty promising. So I think the Priest album will be good.
I think so.
I'm not really worried about it.
Right. No, I think it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. I'm definitely looking forward to a lot of cool stuff this year myself personally. A lot of shows coming up that are going to be awesome. March the 30th, I have a Metal Night at Art Sanctuary 2 coming out. To be announced on the bands for that. I also have the birthday show this year at Magbar on 4/26, the actual birthday show. And then there is a couple other ones and a big goddamn metal show too.
Right. Yeah, I don't even know what's coming our way this year. We have nothing on the books right now. I'm trying to book some different stuff that we usually don't get to do, like some cool festivals that are kind of like off the beaten path kind of stuff. But we'll see. And then I got Steel and Stone, November 8th. Not confirmed yet, but it will be. I'm not that worried about it. And then Yeah, just I don't know, just and then like I said, just the random shit that you don't even know is coming our way. And
oh yeah, because it's still early, man. There's tons of time left, you know.
Yep. Lord Dying has one coming out this month, so this month, not too much longer before I get an album I'm looking forward to since their last one, which is one of my favorite albums, probably top 30 favorite albums, and I have a lot of favorite albums. So their last one was pretty high on my list. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this one because the first single they released was maybe one of the heaviest fucking songs I've ever heard. Like, it actually kind of made me uncomfortable. It was so evil sounding. I don't really say that much, but yeah, this shit's pretty fucking intense. I mean, it's brutal. So.
Dude, I get it, man. I mean, there's some stuff out there that I love. I love all types of fucking music. I really do. And I hate and I know that's such a fucking mean and cliche thing for fucking the metalheads always pointing at, oh, she listens to death metal. You know, that fucking dumb shit. I fucking hate that stereotype shit. But yeah, I listen to a lot of fucking different things. But there's some things out there that is just so fucking like heavy. It is immediately off-putting to me. But like there's some things that are so light that are too. You know, so it's like, you know, there is that balance at least, which is cool. But like, yeah, I don't know what it is for me. I can't. It's like I can't put it into. I can't quantify it. I can't put it into words what it is. But as soon as I hear it, I know it. And it's like, all right, that's it. I can't know.
Yeah.
Like, it almost immediately, like, ramps up the anxiety.
Yeah. I mean, this song by Lord Dying, it's called I Am Everything, I Am Nothing. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called.
Yeah.
It's so heavy that I got disturbed in the daytime.
Yeah. Dude,
yeah, I mean,
that is a heavy fucking
like
song, and I really like it. I really like that song, and I'm glad you brought it up because, yeah, it is super fucking heavy, but it is so fucking good.
Oh, yeah.
And I definitely would love to have them on the Metal Forge.
Well, like I said, I've sent a raven, as they say. We'll see if they send them back. Hey, speaking of cliche, what shirt are you wearing?
I am wearing a Coffin Cat shirt today.
Cool. Can you name 3 songs?
No. Because I'm not going to. Because that's fucking garbage too. And I can be a fan of the band.
You just say cliche. I couldn't pass it up.
I know. I mean,
honestly, one of these days on the. Go ahead.
No, I mean, like anybody who does that shit. I mean, anybody who actually does that shit can suck it. Like, there's no room for that.
I pray for the day that someone asks me to name 3 songs on the shirt I'm wearing, because I'll name 3 fucking full discographies, what year they came out, and you know the order in the proper order. I'll really blow their mind, but that's just me.
Right.
So please, someone ask me.
Do you say
my okay. shirt or Halloween Giant shirt or Night Demon shirt or something?
When people are talking to you about albums and such, and you give the release year, just sit there and say Judas Priest.
Right.
Give me okay. Do you know what year's albums came out of theirs?
I mean, there's so many, I can't keep them all straight.
Okay, so let's just say British Steel.
1980.
Okay. At least you didn't say circa 1980.
What the fuck does circa mean, anyway? Like, around 1980?
I think so.
Means? Okay.
And like, they say circa 1980, circa 1977.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
They're not really sure. It might be 76, might be 78. You know, I know. I get it now.
Yeah, that makes sense. So no, like I definitely know that one was 1980, and I love that. But see, that's been always one of my big nerdisms, where some people like memorize the liner notes in albums and shit. Like,
I'm not that hardcore,
but I will be like, oh, it's the 8th track on the album.
Sure.
And it's just like, and that shit I know. Like, I'm a nerd for that. But
if you really want to blow their mind, it'd be like, it's the first song on the B side. It's also the first song on the C side of the two 8-track cassette.
Oh my god.
That's when people are like, yeah, fuck this, I'm out of here. This guy knows way too much.
Yeah, like, imagine fucking saying, like, I don't know, like, billion babies or something. You know, like it was the first half was on side A, and then the second half was on side B.
Speaking of $1 billion babies, I know I keep like changing subjects like rapid fire, Judas Priest song. That drum beat, that intro, I don't know why it's never considered for like one of the greatest recorded so far. I don't say all time because the time's not done. But the recording so far in music history, I don't know why that one's not considered one of the greatest. Because dude, it's recognizable instantaneously.
Oh, it is. But
I mean, it's just as recognizable as like rock and roll.
Well, I think it's the rap at that point, and Alice didn't have a good rap at that point. You know, because that was the whole... I don't think Alice became a real household name until Wayne's World.
Right. But I mean, looking back through like the lens of like history, the drum beat has nothing to do with Alice Cooper. I mean, it's just like a drum intro, and it should be like it's one of the most famous songs.
No, I agree. No, I am agreeing with you. It shouldn't, but because of the association, and the antics done, and being in the world back in the 70s and shit, dude, fucking Prude Central, man. But we went on for a minute.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just have a message for these so-called music historians that compile these lists. Go fuck yourself. I haven't wrote the greatest drum intro yet. How about that?
Nobody has. This is just a tribute.
Yes.
I couldn't remember the greatest drum beat in the world because this is just a tribute. Dude, we're going to end... actually, no. What am I saying we're going to end? This isn't... no, we're not going to do that. We're going to start this fucking show the right way. We're going to start it with a song from Titanosaur, from the new album Echoes, which came out back in September of 2023 on the Swamp Records. This is The World Is on Fire. This is the first episode of 2024, and what an enormous episode it is, because we're dating back into the new year, 65 million years in the making, with Geoff from Titanosaur.
Yo, what's up?
Dude, what is going on, man?
Hey, man, just to go along with what you said, I'm also 6'8", so that's also why I'm gigantic,
Jesus, are you really?
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
I used to be 6'10", but, I'm getting old.
Right. And everybody shrinks as they get older kind of thing.
I mean, also with the head banging, it kind of makes you shorter.
True, yeah, because you get whiplash constantly, and you have to go through the thing. Dude, I've been fighting that hardcore here recently. We played some banger shows lately, and I've just given it a little bit too much on stage, and like I do this hair whip when I'm trying to just get the shit out of my way, and it's like, oh crap, oh fuck, my neck. So I know the whiplash is there. I'm just not going to the doctor for it. So dude, 6'8" and 6'10", dude, wow, that is huge. Did you play like basketball and stuff?
No, I'm 6'8" because of one of the conditions that I have, which makes me really tall and kind of thin. So
okay. Interesting. So no, I mean, just like when you always assume, I guess, or people assume, like when somebody's that tall, it's like, oh, were you a basketball player or something, or a professional wrestler? No, I don't know.
yeah, that is the most common question, and some people have said I should answer with, well, not do you play mini golf? So, but I got no problem with it.
That is amazing. It's like, it reminds me of one of my favorite lines in The Big Lebowski. Is when at the very beginning, he sits there and he's like, "What the fuck is this? Holding a golf or a fucking a bowling ball?" And the dude says, "Obviously, you're not a golfer." But that's not why we're here. See, this is what I told you a minute ago about this show getting fucking derailed. It always does. We're always out in the weeds. Tell everybody about Titanosaur. First off, am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, you know what? You're one of the first people who says it right. For some reason, other people have trouble saying it.
Really?
I don't know why.
What do they call it? Like Titanosaur?
Something like that. Yeah, putting the accent on a different place. I don't know. It's weird. But
English,
Titanosaur.
Right?
Been around since 2018. I was doing a project called the Ray Gun Girls for a really long while, but that was goth industrial, or is goth industrial, and so it's very dark music, and I wanted to make something more rock and roll, a little lighter. So I decided to start this separate thing, Titanosaur, which actually has overtaken the Ray Gun Girls in popularity and all that stuff, which is great. So the first Titanosaur album is pretty silly. It's got a lot of silly songs on it, but I got all my...
So you're talking about the song or the album Eat Me.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Well, and I do love the cover of it, because it's just, eating the evolution of man. It's all great. And it kind of reminds me of, like, when I remember seeing Bad, where it's just such the white background album, and it's just like with an image on there of like Michael Jackson. I'm not saying it looks like that, but it, like, a white album cover always reminds me of that album for some reason. Except for the Beatles, obviously.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, so actually, Aaron Ossont, fellow Flamekeeper here, had your newest album put in his top 5 for 2023, the Echoes album, which came out back in September. So before we talk actually about that, Aaron actually wanted to know, how did you come up with the name?
Well, so I was starting in 2018. I wanted to start something different. So I wanted to do it heavy. I knew it would be heavy, knew it would be rocking. So I needed the name that would sound that way. And the first thing that came to me was some sort of dinosaur. But if you look up dinosaur names for heavy metal bands, they're almost all taken because they're very popular.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's face it. I mean, the most famous probably is T-Rex.
T-Rex, right, from the 70s, yeah. That's definitely the most famous. But yeah, no, there's rhinoceros, there's acid mammoth, there's tons of different mammoths. And then I remembered that I had just seen a documentary on the discovery of the Titanosaur, and that sounded perfect. And nobody else had used it, so I was like, all right, there we go.
Nice. So fortune kind of smiled at you there for a second, where you came in right at the right time, where nobody had they discovered a new species for you.
Exactly. But so the funny thing though is that a Titanosaur actually looks like a Brontosaurus, but that's not very intimidating. So on the logo, I use a T-Rex kind of thing.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, hey, you always have to have embellishment with the artwork. I mean, if we all put the rough draft on there, I mean, it wouldn't work, would it? I mean, most of them would be stick figures for the most part, I would think.
Yeah.
At least they would be on my end. It's like, and like extremely disproportionate ones.
Alrighty, well, there you go.
So, hey, they can be vicious too.
Oh, yeah. No.
So, with the new album release, obviously, this is just you doing this. And
correct. Yeah, it's mostly just me. I mean, I do have guest guitarists coming in and sometimes guest vocalists, but yeah.
Okay. Which is cool, which, you know, I think is always something that is an interesting thing when you can have, hey, man, or chick or whoever, throw something on this, you know. Yeah. I dig that stuff, and honestly I think I'm gonna do that on my next thing, which is so because I've seen some other people do it and I'm like, hey, that sounds like a pretty cool deal. So with because like I said before, I still call even a single person project or guest session project, I still call it a band. I hate calling music projects. So even with this just being you, has there ever been the time where this has been played out live or has considered being played out live?
So I stopped playing live in 2009 because of my heart condition.
Okay.
So no, I haven't played live. I do write the songs with the idea in mind of them being played live. So, because I remember Def Leppard said that once, you know, you're right as if you're going to be playing in a stadium so that, you know, the sound from here, from the stage, gets to the people all the way in the back and it doesn't sound like mud. So I keep that in mind when I'm writing, but I would love to be able to play them live. And hopefully if I get a heart transplant, because I'm also on a heart transplant list.
Oh, wow.
I'll be able to play them live after that, hopefully.
Wow, man. That's pretty hardcore, dude. So I had no idea to any of that. I mean, yeah, that's crazy, man. Is everything okay?
Well, it's one of those things that I have to decline in health to be able to,
right,
get a heart. So
right.
I've been in and out of the hospital last year. It's all over my Instagram. Last year I was in the hospital 4 times. And probably be going in at some point in the next month, maybe, depending on how things go. So yeah, as long as I'm waiting for a heart, I'm gonna be in and out. So I'm trying to do as much music as I can in between.
Definitely. Yeah, and you just said that, and that blew me the fuck away, man. Like, even with being in the hospital 4 times in a year, that's a lot. And I was in, I've been in there twice in a year, and it fucking seems like a fucking lot. So I can't even imagine that many. And you put a fucking album out. And it's like, shit, man. And some other stuff, too. You've got, some EPs and singles from last year.
So I started putting out singles at the end of 2022, just with the idea of putting something out there, making sure that the music is still heard. And then I was like, this has to be an album because I need a goal. So while I was in the hospital, January to February, 5 weeks, I wrote some riffs, wrote some lyrics. When I got home, put them all together, and there you go, an album.
Definitely. So when you're in the hospital for a prolonged amount of time like that, do you have like somebody that has brought you a jam stick, or do you have a guitar with you? I mean, are you still trying to be productive while you're there?
Well, for sanity, they allow me to bring my guitar there. They give me a private room. I think they have it in mind for anybody going through a heart transplant. It's like, you got to be sane. You got to keep your mind healthy too. So they give me a private room where I can bring my guitar. And so I plug it straight into an iPad, record some riffs on GarageBand, and then when I get home, I put them into the computer and put them all together.
Definitely, man. Holy shit, dude. That's a kick-ass way of doing it. To me, you had said the thing about Def Leppard. Right for the stadium, right? Like you're always going to play it live. And I agree with that. And, as crazy, as the dude has been in his life in his later years, Arnold Schwarzenegger actually had a very good tagline, catchphrase, whatever you want to say, a motto. He said you could either have results or excuses, not both. So I totally dig that. And dude, that's what you've done. I mean, you've made it to where you've still been able to write and everything. That's fucking amazing.
Well, the other thing is that on top of everything else, I'm also autistic. And so making the music that I make helps me avoid violent meltdowns, because I've always had violent ones, which is not fun. And don't want to destroy more property than I have already. So making that chunky, heavy, loud music helps to get that energy out. So I have to keep doing it. I have to find a way to keep doing it. If I stop, then that's where everything goes wonky.
Definitely. So I am actually reading the bio now, and it says New York hard rock metal, a dash of Monster Magnet, a pinch of Red Fang, a large dose of Motorhead, and some Ramones for good taste, all poured over a bed of Black Sabbath. Dude, I have never read a more on point write-up. Like, dude, this should honestly be a write-up from a PR company, because that's it, because of the way it is. And I can hear how everything is yours, but I do catch those little dashes and influences like we all have.
Sure.
We all have like our moment where it's like, it kind of sounds like a Judas Priest thing. I don't know if I should do that. Or that kind of sounds like Maiden, or that sounds like T-Rex or Ozzy or who the fuck ever. And so I dig it. But Motorhead, I am a huge Motorhead fan, like through and through. On the death day this past week, I posted a video from getting to see Motorhead in 2015, a few months prior to Lem's passing. And like, so do you have a favorite era of Motorhead, or what is it? What's your Motorhead deal?
Well, I really got into Motorhead with No Voices in the Sky. I was in high school. So I like that album a lot. I don't think there's a single song I skip over on that one. But the one that I really like, which other people seem to not like as much, is the Rock and Roll album.
Oh, yeah.
To me, that album is perfect all the way through. It's energy, and it gets me going. So yeah, that's the era that I like around that time.
Okay, so you're a big 4-person Motorhead fan.
Yeah, with the 4 guys, yeah.
Hell yeah. See, that's interesting, because like not a lot of people that I know gravitate towards that era. Yeah, you get the people who will always say like Born to Raise Hell or something, or Hellraiser, just because it's Hellraiser, right? But no, like actually, you say No Voices in the Sky. I fucking love that era. But truth be told, I'm a fan of the entire career. Obviously. But like, for me, it's like they're broken down specifically into 3 separate eras. And it's original lineup, 4-person, and then new classic lineup is what I call it. New Coke lineup, Motorhead. Which, fucking was still a great lineup.
Yeah, definitely.
And, but when it got a little long in the tooth, it was like Snakebite Love for me. Not a big fan of that album.
But that last album that they put out was actually, to me, it was a lot better than the previous 2 albums.
Right. I'll go with that. Yeah, The World Is Yours and Aftershock, to me, while they had good songs, they were not like playthrough albums like I'm used to with that band. Like, which the album before that would have been like Motorizer. So yeah. I totally get, and this is where the tangent comes in. So I dig a lot of that, and I hear what you do and I like what you do, and I'm just, man, fuck yeah.
So the description, because I had come from a dark, like everything very serious kind of music that I was making, I was just having fun with it. And everybody who reads is like, that's perfect. That's my little sense of humor there.
Well, it is. And it totally fits amazingly to it, because from riffage to lyrical like delivery to maybe what you're writing, it seems like I get like a little bit of that in there. So when you're writing vocals, this is an Aaron question as well. Shout out to Aaron Ossont from Ossont Battery again. He wants to know, whenever you do write your lyrics, what's your process?
I have I on my phone I have a notes app, and so I just pretty much put stuff in there constantly. So most of the lyrics are really pieced together from tons of notes that I have, or sometimes a note that I have will spark the rest of it. So that's mostly the place that I get my lyrics from. Very rarely, but it does happen, do I write with a specific idea in mind. Like I'm Still Here, which I put out. That was one of the songs I recorded in the hospital. That song was a specific idea. I wanted to do something about my history. There are a few of those here and there, but most of them are just patched together from my notes.
Definitely. And me being a lyricist for my band as well, I totally get exactly what you're saying. You might have like a 4-line thing hit you and it sit there for 6 months and then you come back to it. And I think that is an amazing thing now in the digital world, because, before I did this, you wrote it all on paper. And if you didn't have like a good system, I still have papers in my closets of lyrics that I have not used from 20 years ago in notebooks.
Yeah, my wife hates that. I have tons of papers all over the place from years ago when I was writing down paper. I have no idea. I haven't looked at them. I don't think I'll ever look at them, but I can't get rid of them. They're there. They're lyrics.
Well, yeah, they're they go into the collection, into the archive at this point, right? I mean, you probably have stuff that's still recorded on cassette tape too.
Yes, I do. And I had a small 4-track that we recorded one of my first bands on. It was a punk band, so we recorded it on there.
Definitely. So it sounds like with what you were talking about with the kind of like the goth thing that you were doing as well. You seem like you come from like the punk goth deal more than metal, I guess.
Well, yeah, I would definitely say that definitely more on the punk side. I write riffs that seem like they would be more punk if you just look at the chords or how I play it. But when I put it down, slow it down a little bit. I mean, that's what Corrosion of Conformity started off as a hardcore band,
right?
Turned into heavy blues, whatever. So I'm sort of going with that feeling and just letting it flow. I'd like to say that it's really a New York sound that you hear because I grew up in New York City, and so I feel like that kind of bleeds through the sound of the dirt and the grime and the noise and the subways. I feel like that kind of bleeds through a little bit.
Yes, it does. And I think that is it's a thing. I can't explain it, but it's a thing that people from New York have. Mm-hmm. It's just as the same as you could tell the LA bands.
Yeah.
The way they sound, even today, and it doesn't matter. It could be a new wave of traditional heavy metal band, but if they're from California and they're from New York, you still have those way two different sounds. And I think that is amazing because I'm Midwest and we have our own thing here too. And it's just, dude, that's one of the things that I love about the melting pot of heavy culture, alternative culture, whatever you want to call it. Being into metal and our degenerate cousins punks and our other degenerate goth cousins and shit like that, and keep going. I mean, it doesn't matter. We're all part of the same scene as it is. But like, I love how, just as even if it was in the 60s, 70s, 80s, even to now, geographically we still have a dialect. Musically.
Yeah. I think it has to do with the weather and the noise. It just gets into your bloodstream. It gets into your DNA. For New York or for California, it's the ocean side, the dryness, the sun. I think that definitely gets in there, and that's what comes out when you're playing.
Definitely. Well, and here's probably this just hit me, was when you really think about it, and you want to sit there and you could compare two bands that are on the flip side of each other, Bruce Springsteen and the Eagles.
Yeah.
They real Americana rock, 70s based. They both have something similar in what they're trying to say, but you got that East Coast, West Coast, that difference. And that's right there. That's probably a really good example and that's probably the only time either of those two will ever be mentioned on the Metal Forge.
Well, you could also talk about Overkill from New Jersey,
yes,
East Coast, and maybe Testament. I believe they're from California.
Yeah. They're in San
Washington.
Francisco. They're a Bay Area thrash band, and with Overkill, same era, totally different sounds. You go with any of them, even with like Florida, because even that stuff is different. It's more into the death stuff. That's what I've loved about documenting the music scene like I have over the last 5 years, and that's what this is the official 5th year episode today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so fuck yeah. But no, like, I totally dig that. So when you're actually getting into the writing process, how do you go about it? What do you do?
Well, I have riffs that I've recorded. a lot of times I could basically write a whole song in 1 hour, and then refine it and cut it up and make it presentable. But basically in an hour I can write a song. The riffs just keep coming. I lay down a beat for about 6 minutes or 7 minutes, depending on what I'm feeling. And I pick a BPM, 120, 60, and then I just record whatever comes out. That's generally how it works. And then I listen back to it, hear what goes in the right spot, fix up the drums, and then start thinking about lyrics.
Okay. So when you lay down your beat as it is, now I'm assuming at the beginning it's just straight up bare bones, and then you go back and you're like, okay, well maybe I could add this fill here and these extra crescendos and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. While I'm playing it, I hear it. I hear what I want to have happen with the bass or the drums while I'm playing it, while I'm listening to what I'm playing. It's a really weird thing, but it works. So I haven't examined it too deeply.
Definitely. Absolutely. So on your drums as well, and I know this is like, for me it doesn't matter because I don't care either way, because if it sounds good, go fuck yourself. This is the way I say it. If it sounds good, don't fucking shit talk, go fuck yourself, because it still sounds good. When it comes to drums, I'm assuming programmed. You're not actually playing anything.
Correct. Yeah. I don't have.
And I know a lot of people fucking like hate that shit. And like I said, I mean, people, you have to do what you do and what it, to get the end result, right?
Yeah. You got to do what you got to do. And I worked at trying to get the drums to sound as real as I could get them to. So
right.
It's a little bit of reverb, some thump in there. But yeah, they are programmed.
And that's the thing, is 20 years ago, yeah, it was garbage technology.
Well, yeah.
I mean, your kick drum sounded like, it's like everybody had the Zoom pedal that had the fucking, the pre-programmed fucking shitty drum beats so they could learn how to keep time, right? And like, but today that's completely different. And yeah, I mean, when huge bands are mixing a sim kit with a fucking real kit live when it's triggered, that means that, hey, the technology has come that far that we can pre-program drums if we need to.
Yeah. And as you said, it's
and people nitpick over the dumbest shit over that.
Yeah,
is the way I see it. So, hell yeah, man. So, I know we've kind of derailed a few minutes here, which is totally cool with me because, hey, that's what it's all about here. And I am going to go ahead and switch over because these are questions about you as a person.
All right.
About Geoff the Titanosaur. What is your biggest goal for this year?
Oh, the biggest goal for this year is to have a heart transplant.
Oh,
that's it.
Well, that is a huge goal, and yeah, hopefully that does happen.
Yeah, I mean it's a weird thing to hope for.
Well,
because,
I understand,
what has to happen.
But if it needs to happen, and it's something that, yes, I understand. Yes, absolutely. If it's going to improve your quality of life, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, musically, I am looking towards putting out another album. I already got a single that's going to be coming at the end of January. So, and I got some other stuff happening throughout the year. So,
hell yeah. And that's awesome to hear already that you've got something new coming out at the end of the month.
Yeah.
And here we are at the beginning. We should have had you at the end so you could have debuted it. No, and I'm kidding. What tech item or app that people love that you refuse to try?
What tech?
Yeah, what tech item or app?
Jeez, what do I refuse? Snapchat. I mean, I refuse to use that. Kids are using that still. I don't know.
If they are, I don't know.
Times.
Are the hip happening kids that listen to this show? Most of our people are between 35 and 55. If there are any kids out there listening to this show, are you using Snapchat still? I think they use the Instagram. I see a lot of Instagram stories from we recently played an all ages show, and we hadn't played an all ages show for a long time. And like, we immediately went up like 100 follows, and it's all of these kids from this show, and they're all like story. And it's like, son of a bitch. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the Instagram these days.
Maybe it's Instagram. I mean, I don't refuse to use anything that'll work. I just don't use a lot of stuff. One, because of money. Two, because the learning curve. I don't have time and patience to learn a lot of stuff. So that's...
Well, and I think some of that too is, it's not necessarily a learning curve. It's some of these app manufacturers out there make it really hard for older people to grasp the concept because, because of like, they change like hashtags and shit like that so constantly. They change the algorithm so much that unless you're like constantly on it, that you don't get it.
Maybe. Yeah, that's possible.
Have you ever had a this can't be happening moment, and what was it?
Well, again, when I got told I need a heart transplant, I actually wrote a song. This isn't how it was supposed to be. But on a positive side of that reaction, of having that kind of reaction, was when I met Chris Cornell. I was just walking down the street one day, and they were having a concert at this venue, and I was walking past that venue. No plans to meet them or anything. No plans. I don't think I was even had tickets for the show. He was hanging outside with Matt, with the drummer. They were just hanging out outside, and so I went up, got out of my bag a binder that I had. I said, "Yeah, this is a total surprise to me, but can you autograph this?" They found it kind of funny, but yeah, that was pretty crazy.
So was it a binder of your lyrics?
Oh no!
Damn!
I was in college back then.
So it was the hope of you have your lyrics signed by Chris Cornell.
That'd be nice.
That would be. I was that cheese ball that did that to Anthrax because it was the only thing I had was a copy of my CD, and I was just like, I don't know, sign this.
It's sort of in the kind of a different vein, but the same. I interviewed Johnny Ramone, and I have a Ramones record that I got from my uncle, so I took that with me. But it's with Dee Dee on it, and the whole band was there: CJ, Joey, everybody, Marky. And so I had them sign it, and CJ was like, "Where do you want me to sign?" So, well, you could sign over Dee Dee. That's okay.
Oh, come on. Everybody loves Dee Dee, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, he wrote some of the classic lyrics, too. So,
what is the perfect day for you? From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, what is the perfect day?
Oh, the perfect day is at least having at least 4 hours of working on music for me. I mean, I love making the music. I love listening to it. I love the whole process. So that I'm lactose intolerant, but if we're talking about a perfect day, having pizza for lunch, and I don't know, watching a movie or two in the afternoon, and that's pretty much it. I'm a really simple guy.
Hell yeah. I mean, aren't we all to a degree? I mean, we all kind of, most of us are. I mean, unless you listen to new country music. I don't know what that is. I'm kidding. Gosh. People get upset these days. No, but for real. Pizza.
Yeah.
Come on now. Don't hold out on me. What's your toppings?
Well, I love plain just because here in New York, anyway, it's so oily and
Yes.
it's great.
Yeah, I agree with that because it already has the oil from like the cheese on it and the sauce. Yes, but like if you had to, your ultimate go-to.
Yeah, I mean, I also like when they put chicken, barbecue chicken on, or just broccoli. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Do you have a spot you like to go to?
Well, and I haven't been there since college, but I went to college in the city, in New York City, and there was this pizza place that every college student went to because they had ginormous slices. I mean, they were like, you could only eat one slice. There was so much pizza in that.
Right.
So those were great because they were giant. They were oily. It was great for after a hangover. You get one of those pies and it'd last for a week.
Hell yeah. We have a place and they actually sponsor the Metal Forge here, Pizza DoNisi. And this is not actually an ad, but their slices are like that. And they have like the one of the month kind of thing. Like Figgy Stardust was for Christmas. Yeah. And so hopefully this year for Big Goddamn Metal Show 2, hopefully we'll have a Metal Forge pizza for the pizza of the month in October.
Nice.
I'm starting that ball rolling now. But no, and movies. I mean, do you have a specific you go to, or are you just a film connoisseur?
Well, I guess I might be considered a connoisseur. I know a lot about a lot of movies. I know enough to get in trouble.
Me too,
as the saying goes. I mean, I definitely prefer a certain kind of movie, and it also depends on my mood. Like, I'll see any Mad Max movie. I'm excited for the Furiosa movie that's coming out.
Right.
I think that Titanosaur music would be great on the soundtrack.
I think so too. It fits. It really does fit.
Just putting that out there.
Yeah, it fits the landscape. Maybe we can. Maybe we could send this to some executives types.
Sure.
Hell yeah. Okay, so you prefer a type of movie. What type of movie do you prefer?
Well, I definitely like action a lot more than or thriller, I guess is the appropriate title. Definitely like thrillers. A good thriller would be great.
Okay, so I get that. Hell yeah. Any specific era, like 80s to now? I mean 70s. I mean, a thriller is a thriller.
Well, so I don't get much sleep. I don't sleep much. About 4 hours a night, and so I watch a lot of movies because at 3 o'clock in the morning, what else is there to do? Right. So I've watched a lot of the 70s movies multiple times, like The Conversation. That's the only one that's coming to mind right now, but I've seen quite a few. French Connection, The Godfather.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, you've got to do The Godfather anyways. I think that's a must watch on anybody's list. I mean, I think most cinema, even if it's garbage trash cinema, should be watched. Because there is an art form to it at some degree. Maybe not in major Hollywood motion pictures today. There are still some out there that are. But, it's just as if, there's albums that bands put out that are the equivalent to Hollywood. But there's still the ones out there that are artist driven, which is why, why I have bands like yours and everybody else's on the show.
Yeah, definitely.
Hell yeah, man. So I have one more question, but before we get to it, as always, links are listed below, so give a like, a share, and a follow. Go buy merch. They do have some awesome fucking shirts in the Bandcamp store. I am looking at them right now, and Aaron, I think it was actually Santa Claus, debuted a Titanosaur Raglan shirt on an unsleeved for Aaron this past month in Flamekeeper land, and I was just like, dude, I love Raglan shirts, but for whatever reason, every manufacturer says they can only make them at 2x.
Yeah, that's yeah. I do it on demand, and yeah, the Raglans only go up to 2x.
And I don't understand that at all. It's just like, what? How in the hell can Haynes, Fruit of the Loom, Gildan, fucking, I don't know, Zartan, fucking, he's a G.I. Joe guy. I mean, whoever's the fucking shirt manufacturer can only do it up to 2x.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't either. So that's my bitch of the day. No, but seriously, you should go buy. Geoff has CDs in there as well. Awesome shit. Dude, do you have any shout outs you want to give to anybody today?
Well, I mean, some of the bands that I work with regularly, Demon Scar, they're another New York band. They're awesome. Everybody should check them out. I do a yearly Motorhead cover with them. Last year we did Bad Something, totally blanking right now.
Bad Religion?
But, no, we did, it was a Motorhead song. And another one. God damn it. But we're going to be doing another one this year. It's usually around August.
Hell yeah.
And then Gorilla Wizard is another New York, Brooklyn band. They're really cool. It's like sort of sludge hardcore. It's some great stuff. And Bovine Nightmares are going to be, just came out with something new, and they're going to be coming out with more stuff. I think they're Pennsylvania. I don't know. But another East Coast band.
Hell yeah. I've actually never heard of Bovine Nightmare. I'm going to have to check them out. Just because the fucking name is amazing.
Yeah, their new song is great.
Fuck. Hell yeah, man. So, Geoff, thank you. But before we leave, there is that one last question. And that is, how do you define success?
I used to define it as being able to survive off the music. I'm in my 40s now. That's not going to happen. But I mean, success is really having people be able to listen to music, as many people as possible, just spreading the music. I keep the prices low precisely for that, so that everybody can have, get to it. And success is really just getting the music heard.
Fuck yeah, man. I agree with that 100%. It doesn't matter if, to me, being in my 40s also now is the thing of saying, like, it doesn't matter if it's 50 people, 150 people, 15,000 or more people. As long as it's being heard, it's being heard, and that's what matters.
Yeah. And it's one fan at a time, and that's how 2023 was, and I met a lot of people one fan at a time. And it's great. Fuck
yeah. And, and I was actually turned on to you guys, or I say you guys. I always, the royal, the editorial we. I always refer to the Metal Forge as, we'll have to look at the calendar and see. And by we, I mean me and the mouse in my pocket. Yes. Me and the two cats that work here. But no, I had actually, come across your profile before on Instagram, I believe, somewhere I had saw the name Titanosaur back in like 2020, 2021. And I'd always meant to reach out, and it was like, and seeing Aaron's video, I was like, fuck, I need to do that. It's like, there they are again. And I appreciate you coming on to the Metal Forge this week. Thank
My
you
pleasure.
fucking for taking time out of your day to do this. It does mean a lot. And on our way out today, from your whole discography there of Titanosaur, if you wanted to leave anybody with anything, what would you leave them with?
I'd probably go with Eater of Death. That song means a lot of different things, and it's a survival song. And yeah, it's a fight song, and it's fucking rocking. So yeah.
Absolutely. And you heard him. This is Eater of Death.
It's time to take your last breath. Don't mind, I'm the hero of death. Rushing down to fight
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The Sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Since 2013, there has been a calling from the underground, from the graves of all those unholy, and they decided to make a zine to talk about all of this. Soulgrinder Zine, an independent metal zine to keep you informed on all things metal and horror from the underground. Available in both print and digital formats, they're bringing you the best interviews and reviews out there today. Not only do they do the zine, but they also do compilation CDs. Check them out at facebook.com/soulgrinder.zine and start your subscription now.
Hey everybody, let me tell you about the new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Unchained Tapes. They're an independent Pennsylvania tape label. They focus on extreme metal and punk with a killer approach to the tape scene. Visit their web store at unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com now to get your fill of tapes. And for being a Metal Forge listener, enter the code METALFORGE10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on your total purchase. That's unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com.
What's up, Metal Forge fans? This is Alan Bishop, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest and head distiller at Spirits of French Lick. Do you find yourself drawn to the unexplained, fascinated by the Fortean, or enchanted by the paranormal? If the things that go bump in the night resonate in your mind, then tune into my brand new podcast, If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. Featuring first-hand accounts, collected stories, interviews, history, and speculation related to all things not of this world. Available now on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and more. Set back, relax, and remember, if you have ghosts, you have everything.
Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. To distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code METALFORGE10 to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now.
Hey Metalheads, it's with great pleasure I get to tell you guys about a new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Ageless Art, New Albany. After 20 years of owning and operating Ageless Art in Clarksville, Indiana, Phil Garrett had a vision for a new type of tattoo studio. Something that is clean and modern, sleek, refined, inviting. And he's done just that with Ageless Art in New Albany. You can find it at 2736 Charlestown Road, New Albany, Indiana. 47150. Business hours are Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays are 12 to 6. All sessions are appointment only, so give them a call and go get you some new ink. Or if it's your first time, go get your first one, baby. Maxwell's House of Music in Jeffersonville, Indiana is the premier 12,500 square foot music superstore that has served both southern Indiana and Louisville, Kentucky metro area for over 4 decades. Originally founded by Marvin and Beverly Maxwell in the 70s, this gym remains a Maxwell family-owned business. Mark Maxwell, along with his business partner Whitney McNichol, continued the reputation as being the national resource for all things music.
In 2022, the iconic Guitar Emporium of Louisville relocated to Maxwell's Music, creating the largest independently owned showroom in the region. The retail offerings at Maxwell's Music includes a huge selection of guitars, basses, amplifiers, effects pedals, modeling amps, keyboards, drums, banjos, mandolins, ukuleles, sound systems, stage lighting equipment, and accessories. The music education program at Maxwell's is second to none. From private instrument and voice lessons to DJ, EDM, recording, songwriting, and music theory, to rock school, weekend warriors, and Maxwell's Music Lab, there is something for every age and every ability level.
Down in Repairland, guitar and instrument repairs and refurbishment are taken care of by the Maxwell's team of expert guitar technicians and luthiers. They also do appraisals of instruments as well. Maxwell's offers installations for professional audio, visual, and lighting systems for schools, churches, clubs, VFWs, funeral homes, sports fields, and so much more. There's also rentable space at Maxwell's, from the music practice and rehearsal rooms for the individuals and bands, all the way to a meeting space and concert venue that seats up to 120. That also includes a professional audio, visual, and lighting system and a sound booth. Maxwell's has it all. All this plus original functioning 1947 recording booth to make your own record. Go to the Guitar Hero throne, to the very own Elvis statue, and don't forget the Harmony Green Pocket Park. There's a reason the Maxwell's House of Music in Jeffersonville, Indiana has been recognized by the National Association of Music Merchants as a #1 award-winning best store design, as well as top 100 music store year after year. You gotta see it to believe it. Maxwell's House of Music in Jeffersonville, Indiana.